So, hello everyone, it's Han, and this is a bit of an unscripted video. I just want to show that how 32-bit program slash system kind of works and how MapleStory is affected by all of this. So, someone in Maple Talk asked that 32-bit, what's that called? How much RAM do you need for MapleStory? It actually doesn't really matter too much because MapleStory is a 32-bit system, but regardless, I'll show what I mean. So I have a CPU that's 95-8400, 16GB of RAM running single channel because it's one stick, and I have a GTX 1060 6GB, but that all doesn't matter because graphic card doesn't matter, RAM matters, and CPU matters. But regardless, here's what I mean. So 32-bit system and program itself are limited to 4GB regardless of how much RAM you actually have. So for example, if you have 32GB of RAM, MapleStory can only access up to 4GB because that's how 32-bit program slash system works. And MapleStory itself is 32-bit because it's quite old. I'm gonna try to replicate a memory leak if I can. Memory leaks are very random, but going to Maple Union has a very high chance of creating a memory leak where the program software itself will just keep getting more and more, accumulating more and more memory until it crashes itself because it can no longer support the amount of memory it has. And keep aware that I am running my MapleStory from an SSD, not a hard drive, if that actually matters at all, but probably doesn't matter that much. By right, if a game system program keeps getting more and more memory, it actually needs to unload. There we go, the crash happens. So what actually is required for the game slash program is that it needs to keep clearing its own cache or memory so that it doesn't choke itself with the amount of memory it has. So as you can see just now from my task manager, MapleStory went up to around 3.4-ish GB, where I still have a lot of RAM for it to use, but it just can't because that's how 32-bit system and program work. Now my system itself is 64-bit. As you can see from my OBS, it's running on 64-bit.exe. So that's all I just wanted to show. So MapleStory itself doesn't really use a lot of RAM. It only goes up to probably 3.8 gigs because it's 32-bit system. Now another thing that needs to be mentioned is that why did I say my GTX 1060 doesn't matter? Because MapleStory doesn't run on GPU a lot. It runs like 10% to 20%. Whereas modern games like Forza Horizon, which I have here, and Grand Theft Auto 5 all runs up to 100GB of not 100GB, 100% of GPU power, because that's how well optimized games are supposed to be. But MapleStory doesn't use a lot of GPU, uses more on CPU. Now my theory on this is because MapleStory is a very old program slash software, and back then graphic card wasn't as powerful as it is right now. So the developers last time, I'm not sure right now, is probably coded in a way that to allow the game use more CPU processing power than GPU, because it probably uses a single core more than 6 cores as well. So the amount of cores you have doesn't matter as well. So I'm guessing probably the best CPU to run MapleStory is an 8700K, just because it's got the highest frequency currently right now. But in the end, it all doesn't matter. All I'm just trying to say is that MapleStory is a 32-bit program, and it doesn't matter if your system is 64 or 32. The program itself is 32, so it can only go up to 4GB of RAM. It doesn't matter if you have 64, 32, 16 gigs of RAM. Once MapleStory itself hits 4GB of RAM, it's gonna crash because that's the amount of memory it accumulates. And for some reason, MapleC cannot clear its own cache, and well, this is what we gotta deal with. So yeah, I hope you're happy, Playbar, and that's all I just wanted to say. Now I gotta edit this video. Great, feels bad. Alright, bye.